Prepare yourself for invasion. This is Indie Invasion.
Surprise! You got me.
I know. I saw everybody was saying the intro's getting longer and longer and longer.
I'm getting ready to type that's because Mac's making coffee.
I was actually waiting for my coffee. My son delivered my coffee to me. So how's that for good, right?
There we go.
Well, who are we out here? Alder, what's happening, sir? Matt, master of violent dark.
Welcome in. Thursday night invaders. What's going on?
Is it Thursday? It is Thursday. Otherwise, we wouldn't be right here, would we? That's right. So it's definitely Thursday. So in the event that anyone randomly sees me go like this, my children let about 5,000 gnats in the house. So I'm sitting over here in the corner and I'm like, oh, what's going on here, man? So the downstairs is full of gnats right now. So there's that. So
what's up, Tim? Yeah, Matt said in-house delivery. Can't get better than that, right? And you don't have to tip them.
That's right. Alder said, nope, it's Friday. Doggone guys in the future.
Future man.
So what are you working on there, Mr. Eric?
So this week, more of the same. Don't look back. Working on Sammy the Bunny, my deranged pink nightmare from I had off Monday. So I was
cute. What are you talking about?
He's a pink nightmare.
Yeah, he's cute. What are you talking about?
Picking those 80s bright colors. So I got that going on. There.
Nothing to be scared of. That's it? Just the bunny?
That's about it. I mean, it's been a rough week for real life stuff with work and the heat.
Yeah.
Like 100 degrees here right now. And yeah, I work all day, and the time I get home, it just sucks it out of you. And I eat, and next thing I know, I'm falling asleep in my chair. So it's been a rough week. Rough week.
Nothing wrong with that. Well, I was
thanks, Matt.
I had a handful of zombies left from Zombicide, and I think I mentioned before, I did mine in sort of a film noir kind of
Yeah.
vibe. So they go real super fast. So I don't know. I had like 30 or 40 of them left, and I just banged a bunch of them out today. I have to touch up the bases and throw some blood on them. And then I've been printing the mansion.
Yeah, I saw you guys starting. I can't believe you're already painting it. Of course, you got to
Well,
wait forever, right?
Yeah, I'm painting it piece by piece. The guy that created it, I don't think I've seen his name, but Storm Crow Scenery, the guy that created it, he recommended, because his, obviously, you know, those guys, they test print them. He's like, paint it as you build it. So, and that, like you said, that made sense too, because they're averaging between each piece between 13 and 15 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely need another printer, because at this rate, it's going to be 3 months before I get it finished. And I don't know if I can handle waiting that long. I'm way too impatient for that kind of stuff.
Oh man. See, I don't know if I could do that. Paint them piece by piece. I'd be too afraid of it not really jiving together very good.
Well, I mean, I'm not going for it's the design of it is like a haunted mansion. So
Okay.
I'm keeping it very dull and grays and, you know, browns.
Yeah.
So I have kind of my standard grays that I use for dry brushing stone and dungeons and stuff. So I'm not going to mix it up. I know on the first floor there's some tile to do like black and white or any kind of colors like that, but they'll be super simple, so it won't really be mixing those up too much.
Okay, it's easy enough to reproduce when you have to.
And so. I got to give County Road Z in.
Oh man, you've been way busier than me. I've been slacking this week.
Well, it was a late night one, and it went pretty quick. I got hammered in my last game so badly, I was super scared. So, but
he just ran out there and ran back in, huh?
Yeah, basically, there was some objectives, and I managed to get them, and I was at that point where it's like, okay, I can make a beeline right through the middle here, and I can get 2 more and get loads of resources. And then I rolled for the next spawn zombie, and that little alley that I was going to run through, he spawned right in the middle of it. I was like, okay, that made the decision for me. I'm done.
Yeah, sometimes the games do that. They do that indeed.
So here's Alder said on that that the different tones or colors would drive me nuts. Well, that would be, but I use a pewter gray and a cloudy gray from Apple Barrel. Those are my 2 grays for my highlights over black dry brushed, and then I use a territorial beige for any of my other colors, and then a Tuscan red for like I'm doing the trim around the windows and the big archways just to kind of give it a little color pop.
Yeah, it gives it that pop. I like that. It breaks up that all that gray and the kind of muted colors.
Yeah, and I'm essentially that's going to be the color scheme throughout, except for some of the tiles upstairs and where there's any wood floor. But I'll still keep those really muted because I want that sort of dark vampire castle kind of vibe for it. And I'll probably do the shingles black. So it's going to be the colors. I don't think you'll see any inconsistency really.
Sounds like colors right from my heart.
Yeah, right. Well, I usually like to try to do brighter stuff, but this one just has such a cool vampire vibe.
Yeah.
One of the cool things about it was, I know I'm getting hung up on the Stormcrow Mansion, but I believe he did it for RPGs. Was the kind of
I could see that. Yeah, like a Ravenloft or something.
He also has in there, you can print the Fog of War templates that fit right over each one of the rooms.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so instead of just this big thing that covers up your cool looking mansion, you can just have it covering the individual rooms.
Okay.
Which I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people do some creative stuff with that where they just cut out, like black foam core, and they put it over the top of it, type of thing.
Yep. So that's pretty cool. But
yeah.
There you go. That's what I've been working on, and still, I have lots more aliens for.
Yeah, you might have to get like Clem and just get an army of printers going. He posted he's got 4 going now.
I know. I just want one more. I just want one more.
Okay.
I got a nice little space right next to the one I currently have right there.
Well, I did get this week my son to take home some of his stuff that he left here in his old room. So it's like, a little bit more room in there. So I can put some stuff.
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, so because this week I had to go to the home store, and I was checking out some of the cube shelving and stuff like that, so I can do some. I've been kind of in a reorganizing mood this week. I've reorganized some of the game stuff down here this week, and then upstairs I was reorganizing some of the comic mess and looking at shelves, and just trying to make my area work better.
Yeah, man.
So.
Yeah, man. Well, we did just recently talk about that, so
yeah, so I think it inspired me, especially seeing everybody's pictures over on the Discord.
Yeah.
And if you guys aren't on the Discord, you can use this link or the one down below.
Go right now. We'll wait.
Me little pushing. I'm being a pusher man for the Discord.
All right, what are we talking about tonight, my friend?
So, tonight we have another Invader listener topic, and it's basically pushing through a hobby drought. Our good friend Clem over on the Discord posted a question: how do you push through a hobby drought? When the motivation becomes elusive, does anyone have any tips on getting it back? So he's kind of looking just for some tips to, when it happens, avoid. Right. And I thought, this is something that happens to everybody time to time. And I thought, that I think, since we all kind of hit this wall, before we talk about pushing through it, I'd like to take a look at how this happens. What are some of the things that may put you in that slump? I think if we know in a way what these road bumps are, maybe we can know how to avoid them or get out of them quicker. So, and I think these kind of reasonings are very basic, simple. And I mean, the biggest thing is, too much real life, right? Whether that could be time, maybe you work a lot. And
you could be falling asleep in your chair.
Exactly. It could be, I know a lot of people, sometimes it's money. Maybe they have a very slim budget for gaming, and, there could be, and all of these have happened to me at one time or another too. Right. I think maybe your game group dried up, or you just don't have access to a game group, Mac.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes that can attribute to it. So, and I'm sure there's more out there that attribute to this.
Right.
Could be a number of things. Maybe you just you were into a game and you just I don't know, something maybe de-interested you in it. Whether it was one of these things, or
you might get bored with the minis.
Yeah. Just simple boredom.
Yeah, that happens. Especially if you're doing. I know it happened to me in 40K. Right, see Alder throw it. Look at there. My max slump means he only paints 30 minis and 1 table's worth of terrain a week. That's true. That's true. That's a slump for me, right? Golly. But like that happened with me with 40K batch painting, especially because I played orcs, and it was like
that monotonous. Just
I
doing
have
the same thing.
I have Wog Flesh and Army Painter Orc Hide, and I've got all the orc colors, and I don't even think I've opened them because I don't play 40K anymore, and I'm like, that color's evil.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to paint. I don't want to batch paint stuff. And it's the reason that, well, I'll get to that in a minute, because that was how I got over the batch painting, like for Zombicide.
Okay.
That was one of the kind of the hobby breakthrough things that I did for that, because those games, the Zombicides, the Rum and Bones, I know there's some of the other games, Rise of Moloch, any of those games that just come with a mass of miniatures.
Come on.
Yeah, anything from Cool Mini or not, right? Anything from them is just going to be overloaded with minis, and it can be overwhelming. So Well, here's a good tip too from
This
Matt.
is a very good
Rotate
tip.
through games, getting some work done, and then coming back when the game rotates back again. Yeah, that would be great if I had a gaming group. That is an excellent tip, and if I ever have a gaming group, I'm going to use that.
Yeah, I know
That is good.
Some local guys at one of the stores that I was going to, and now granted they kind of had that bad habit of the new shiny game, so they would move to the next game, which there's nothing wrong with that, but they wouldn't rotate as frequently because there's always new stuff coming in. So it made it hard to attach to one game and keep playing it over again.
Yeah. Well, I think that's even harder now too, because since we have him in here, we've got guys like Matt, we've got guys like Mike Thorpe, you've got guys like Michael Lovejoy, and you've got Cynthia creating all of these fantastic little skirmish games.
Mm-hmm.
So I have so many of them, I could rotate them monthly, and it would probably take me 5 years to get back to the one that I started with.
And eventually you could probably play a different game every night of the week, really.
I could for at least a month.
Yeah.
At least a month. Now I'm going to have to go counting. I'm going to have to figure that out. And be like, I got 3 months worth. I don't have to play the same game if I don't want to. And then Alder could pick on me more because I would have to build a table for each one of them.
Yeah.
And I have a great space, but I don't think even I have that much space.
Get some more shelves.
Yeah.
So now that we looked at some of the things that caused the hobby drought, let's chat about what are some of the things that you can do to get your mojo back. Matt kind of already said one, which was a really good one. I think one of the things that gets me motivated back in, whether it's a specific game or just in hobby in general, whether that's building or painting or even playing the game, is I'll watch some paint / hobby videos or even gameplay videos.
Right.
Because it kind of is like you're watching that and you're like, man, I want to do that. That looks fun. That type of thing. You can get inspiration from doing that kind of thing.
Yeah. I can't remember who I heard say it, but it was when I was watching something like that. What I try to do is, and this is, I know everybody jokes about how many models I get painted and how much stuff I get done, but it comes from what I heard watching somebody. I wish I could remember who, but they said 20 minutes. It helps you keep avoiding the drought. Is if you can put 20 minutes, you sit down, spend 20 minutes, maybe you get one color of paint on a model, but you did something.
Yeah.
And I think that helps you to avoid getting to the point where the next thing you're like, man, I haven't painted in a month. Whereas you just do a little bit at a time. And the other thing that works for me, like upstairs on my desk, I have 2 twisted models. Todd's not here to remind you. There you go. I have 2 twisted models. I have 2 models for Violent Dark. I have 2 for County Road Z, and I think that's all I have. But I've got 2 for each. So my goal is to just finish 2 for each one of the games, put them over here in the drawers that they go in with the game, and then move on. That way I'm not stuck painting all steampunk and getting tired of using bronze and copper. Or I'm not doing all sci-fi, or you know what I mean? Paint one thing that you want to work on for the joy of that mini or terrain, not for a project. There is no such thing as not a terrain project. I just want to point that out. There's no such thing as not a terrain project. Actually, that's my most favorite thing to do.
Yeah, there's a couple of good suggestions here. Elton's got planning a gaming meet or event is always a good motivator for him.
Yes.
And now, Alder, what did Alder say? Because I had it up there before. Trying new techniques. Yes.
Now, for Tonio's comment, I've only been able to do something like that, a gaming meet, not necessarily where I'm gaming, but painting. Man, that is so much fun to me. I like to get together with other people and paint.
That kind of community. that community aspect really helps, because it's like you can kind of give suggestions and motivate somebody, or they can motivate you to try different things. And that's a good idea. It kind of boosts your ego a little bit of, oh, maybe I'm doing something that's kind of cool after all.
At Mace, you and I went and did the paint and take.
Yeah.
And sat down and did that. That was great, man. There were like 15 people in there painting stuff. So look, Matt's throwing me under the bus. He's like, get that stowaway painted. It's the last Violent Dark model that I have. So obviously the second one is just something I'm adding to the game because that's what I do. So.
Yep. Alder's got a big one here, and I like this one. Also paint what you're interested in.
Yes.
He said he had an itch for painting some Necromunda last weekend, picked up a box off Marketplace, and started painting them this week. So
yes.
That's a big motivator. Yeah, if you're really interested in something, even if you don't play the game, do it for the fun of it.
Yeah, I do that. I do that sometimes. Now for me, I typically will incorporate it into one of my games because I like to build a narrative and add my own stuff. But so for instance, that happened to me recently, Alder, where I haven't painted a 40K model in I don't know how long. And my son plays Necrons. And I was like, you know what? I want to paint a Necron.
Paint one for the heck of it.
Yeah. No, absolutely no reason whatsoever. I just wanted to paint a Necron. So he brought me one and I painted it up, and I've got him sitting over there on the shelf with my 30th anniversary Space Marine.
Yeah.
So that was good. Another thing that helps keep me motivated is, and we've mentioned this many times, is, and it kind of speaks to what we were just talking about, diversifying what you're painting. We've mentioned many times how when you and I first got our Burrows and Badgers miniatures, we were like, these things are so cool to paint. They're so different. They're so out of the box of what I'm accustomed to painting that we were just on fire. We painted a ton.
Yeah.
Right after we got them, and not just because of new shiny. It was new shiny a little bit, but it was just so different in the painting. Same thing with Twilight, the Chronicles of Anural. Same thing. The miniature
very different.
So off the wall different that they're just none of your regular thought process. You pick it up and you have your standard paints. You're always picking. I've got the flesh paint.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But these ones, you're like, flesh. How about a purplish, grayish?
Yeah, it makes you kind of think outside the box a little bit.
Yeah, very much so.
And I think going back to like trying to paint, on a regular schedule, I always think of it, come up with a regular schedule for your hobbies and stick to them. It can be like you mentioned, 20 minutes. Yeah, I used to always try to do at least 30 minutes, and whether that was one color on the model or 3 colors, it was still progress that was being done on the model. So, if you did that, say 3 times a week, by the end of the week, that's 3 days that you had sessions of sitting and painting. And it's like, okay, that model is going to make quite a bit of progress in that. So it doesn't have to be those marathon 5 hours, type of thing.
Those are fun too. Sometimes
they are fun. They're very fun.
I do. So for my 20 minutes after I put my kids to bed, that's why I have my paint stuff upstairs. Cause they're upstairs sleeping and I have one littler one. So I want to be upstairs. And after they're all in bed, I go out in my little paint space, and that's when I'll try to get my 20 minutes or 5 hours, depending on if it's Friday night or not. But okay, I put this comment up there from Tonio because I like the way he said that, is that Burrows and Badgers is a good palette mojo cleanser. It really is. If you don't have a Burrows and Badgers miniature, just go order one and paint it, and you'll see you'll see what we're talking about. Realistic goals.
That's why I think like 20, 30 minutes is a good realistic, time frame, especially if you're strapped for time. Because that is one of those things that is just like, oh man, I just don't have time, or you're just really tired, so you don't want to put the time into it. Having some kind of goal is a good thing to do. And I noticed
And
our
now, if
favorite.
you're insane like me,
Look at this slacker. About
hey,
time.
Spaz, welcome. Go order some burros and badgers so you can cleanse your palate, my friend. Unless you're crazy like me, because see what happens to me when I finally decided, all right, I'm going to pull the trigger on Violent Dark. I'm sitting here. I was like, okay, it shipped. And I look over and I go, oh, I could do this. And then I just lose my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I got to put it together. I have to strike while the iron's hot kind of thing. So,
well, see, now your buddies can inspire you to get through that drought too, because it's like, I don't know if you guys can see here, because I noticed Mac used minis and I knew I had it somewhere. I dug it out and I'm like, man, maybe I'm going to paint these up just because I see somebody else doing it, and it's like, oh, it's something different. It's new. I mean, this kind of goes with, technically it could be adding to the pile of potential, but getting new stuff, try a different faction, or, with your favorite game, or even new stuff in general. Like you said, the Games Workshop stuff, you have no intention of playing, but it's new stuff that gives you a new perspective.
Yeah. Alder makes a good point too. And I wouldn't have brought this up because I don't do this. I'm not a console or PC gamer.
He's an
but
Atari.
That's very true. Yeah, I'm still playing Pong, man. No, but that's true. You get the instant gratification distraction from it. That I'm kind of glad I'm not a gamer, because without having a regular, consistent gaming group for me, I could see that really impacting my hobby time. But by the same token, I could just build terrain all day.
Yeah,
I could just have people come over and be like, hey, Mac, we're playing a game over here. You're not invited, but could you build some terrain for us? Be like, yeah, sure. Give me stuff.
Yeah, that actually is a big deterrent too. You got too many hobbies, right? You gotta do the even field with them all. And yeah, I can see that.
I kind of try to pare stuff down. Like, I have a lot of games that I play and I really enjoy, but I play them because we talk about independent games, right? So if I had unlimited time, I would play Burros and Badgers and Twilight and every other game that I have over on the shelf all the time. But the reality is, you do have to pare it down to the ones that really resonate with you. And what I've tried to do, and this might help the hobby drought too, I didn't think of it this way, but it might. What I've tried to do is I have genres that I like. There's certain things. So I have a game that I like for each genre. What are you laughing at?
Yeah, I'm just laughing at myself. Don't show me a zombie genre, because I don't care what the game is.
We already know that.
You guys already knew that.
Well, my zombie one is County Road Z. I've played every skirmish zombie game that's out there, and I like the stuff about it. I like the atmosphere it creates, because it's super tense, and that's what I want. I want my guys to die. Kind of, but I want that tension. I think Violent Dark is going to take over my sci-fi spot, because it has that same kind of effect. There's the tension, there's the dying, and then of course Twisted, because I love Twisted, and the Drowned Earth. So that's my post-apocalypse. That's my Victorian / historical / steampunk for Twisted, my sci-fi, and my modern. That's it. Those are I'll play anything with anybody. And there's not a game that we've told you guys about that's an indie game that I have not played. I've put every one of them on the table and played it. And I can't think of one that I didn't like.
Really. They all have different elements,
Sure.
They sure different and fresh.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing I wanted to touch on, and we kind of mentioned, was money. If money's an issue, one of the things I think you can do is budget for it, right? Just don't, budget ahead for the stuff and don't go wild. Set aside, okay, this is how much I have for the month. Now, if you knew something's coming out that's bigger, well, you maybe skip a month or whatever to save it up, type of thing. I know sometimes we as geeks have problems with that, because we just want it. We want it now. and all the stuff. But
now, on a totally unrelated note, a public service announcement from Indie Invasion: you should have a budget anyway.
Yeah.
Outside of your hobby, just let that be a line item. So there's your public service announcement for the day. You should have a budget anyway. And no, Alder, I have not gotten.
Mine are on the way. I should get them Tuesday.
No. Well, I don't think you have, but I was a gene splicer.
Yeah,
so
I didn't get a whole lot. I just got the base and a couple, 2 add-ons. I added 2 big dinosaurs.
Yeah, so I haven't yet, and it's driving me nuts because in the Discord and the group, I'm seeing people post pictures.
Yep.
Of the guy that I designed, and I'm like, I want him yesterday. But
going along with
dark is going to kill my crew. Yes, that's perfect.
So you'll get what you wanted. Going along with the budget thing, something that you can do too is, look in those bargains. The bargain sales. A lot of stuff. Miniature Market. Man, they have sales all the time. And I know a lot of those other companies have sales too. So you just got to be diligent and look for them,
Yes. Most definitely. And also the
holiday sales.
And your hobby groups too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times one of the guys that regularly listens, Tyler, he had some stuff that he wasn't going to use. He knew he wasn't going to. He contacted me to see if anybody would be able to use it. I said yes, and off it went. And so that doesn't impact your budget in any way. So, and trading, if you're not playing X game anymore, trade it away. Somebody's going to be interested in what you have.
Yeah,
and you can pick up whatever it is that you want. So, anyway, I think we're out of time.
Yeah, we're getting close to it. And you know what? That kind of wraps up the talk anyway. So hopefully you guys, if you guys ever run into that wall, just like I said, if you kind of know the things that will cause that, you can kind of try to steer away from it. And maybe our tips will help you. And if you guys have any more tips, send them in.
Alder has a tip right now. If you have a budget, you probably shouldn't be watching Indie Invasion.
Oh, man.
Because we are enablers.
We're just spreading love. That's all we're doing.
Yes, let's go with that. That's what we're going to call it. That is what we're going to call it.
And like Spaz says here, he says sometimes when you run into that wall, you just have to push through it.
Yeah,
you just have to force yourself to finish it off basically. And then you can maybe try something different and new.
And that's where that 20-minute thing really helps.
Yep.
It's easy to do 20 minutes. Super easy to do 20 minutes. So anyway, I do believe that we are going to be signing off and it's my turn. So guys, thanks for joining us. It looks like we had a request. So it looks like next weekend on Saturday, we'll give some more specifics coming up. We're going to do a hobby hangout. So if you guys aren't doing anything and you're not going to be out of town partying for 4th of July, if you're here in the States, then come hang out with us. I don't know what I'm going to be working on. We'll see. Who knows? Eric will probably be working on Don't Look Back.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it'll be a mini. I got 2 building kits I still got to do.
You know what? Maybe my Nada Burger will be here. If it is, I'll be working on that.
There you go.
All right, so fastest 30 minutes in wargaming without Todd tonight. We missed you, Todd. So
yes,
happen to see that. If you want any more content, check us out on all of the podcast channels. Our main one is Podbean. Go follow us over there. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. Like, subscribe, follow, whatever kind of stuff. Smush the button, smash the button, slap like, whatever you need to do. Go check out the Discord. Lots of cool stuff going on over there. Lots of pictures going up. People talking. There's a place you can post pictures of your hobby workspace. We'd love to see that. We kind of got a trend going with that. You can also check us out on Patreon if you would like. And the big one, though, is Redbubble. Check us out on Redbubble. We got new content over there for shirts, not Scooby-Doo shirts, because my new shirt's not here yet. But we got shirts, coffee cups, hats, really surprisingly good quality hoodies. Was surprised with the quality of the hoodies. They were pretty awesome. And that's what we have, ladies and gentlemen. So thanks again for joining us for another episode of Indie Invasion. push through those hobby droughts whenever you encounter them and prepare yourself for the invasion.